Hey there, fifth grade flutes. Welcome to week 11. I hope you all are doing well. So this week, we're going to be looking at a few things on page 10. All right, and the first thing we're going to take a look at is that yellow box up at the top of the page. And you'll notice that it says eighth notes, okay? Eighth notes are another type of note. We've got quarter notes that have been 1 beat, half notes that are 2, whole notes that are 4. So you'll see up in the yellow box at the top, it defines eighth notes for us. It says that each eighth note equals half a beat, and 2 eighth notes equal 1 beat. You'll notice that at the beginning of the box, there are 2 of them grouped together. Each of those is a separate note. They're played separately, okay? So what does that mean? Well, if we remember our quarter notes, right? Quarter notes were 1 note per beat. If this is our beat, our quarter notes go 2, 2, 2, 2, right? Or if I were counting them with numbers in 4/4 time, 1, 2, 3, 4. Eighth notes, since they are half a beat, go twice as fast as quarter notes. So now we fit 2 notes per beat. So my eighth notes are now going to go 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. If I were counting them with numbers, I would count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay, so you notice that 2 of them fit into every beat. You'll notice in the yellow box up there, they show you a quarter note in the middle, and underneath there are 2 eighth notes. They're showing you that 2 eighth notes do equal a quarter note. And you can see them in groups, at least now, in groups of 2 or 4. Okay, it doesn't matter how many are in the group, each note is still 1/2 of a beat, okay? They've all got that beam connecting them across the top. That's what makes them eighth notes, not necessarily the number in the group. The number in the group just tells us how many eighth notes to play. Okay, so we're going to move on and we're going to take a look at number 40, your rhythm rap. All right, and if we look at our rhythm rap, you'll notice that it starts out with 4 eighth notes followed by 2 quarter notes. If I were to count that first measure, here's my beat. If I were counting that first measure, I would count 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Or I could think, if I'm thinking note, name value names, what type of note they are, I could think eighth, 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 quarter, quarter. All right, so let's do this. We're going to count together number 40. All right, we're going to count it. And when we get to the rest, we're going to say rest. So here we go. Ready? Go. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, rest. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3, rest. Let's count it using the words eighth and quarter this time, okay? Here we go. Ready? Go. Eighth, 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 quarter, quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, rest. Eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, eighth, quarter, eighth, 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 quarter, rest. So now, you know how I counted those eighth, 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 quarter, quarter, like at the beginning, or 1 and 2 and 3, 4. If I were playing it, okay, and you can just pick any note you want. I'm going to pick an F, okay? If I were playing the first measure of 40, I'm going to play it for you, and you'll notice that my first 4 notes are shorter than the last 2. Okay, notice how those eighth notes are short and the quarter notes are longer. Now let's go ahead and I'll give you a ready, go. You can pick any note you want. I'm going to play F, but we're going to play through number 40 together. I know it's got a repeat sign at the end. We're just going to do it once, okay? So here we go. Ready, go. How do we do? Did you feel like maybe it was hard to keep up on the eighth notes? Here's where it becomes really, really important to make sure you're using your tongue and whispering two at the beginning of each note. That will allow you to play those notes quickly. If you're not using your tongue and just going hoo, 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 you're not going to be able to keep up. And honestly, you're going to feel like you're exhausted playing those eighth notes. So make sure you're whispering two with your tongue. Two, 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 two. Okay? Let's try number 40 again. Okay? Pick any note you want. Here we go. Ready, go. Rest. Rest. Nice job. All right, so now we are going to move on to number 41, eighth note jam. And here's the cool thing about eighth note jam. If you look at the rhythm in eighth note jam, number 41, and compare it to the rhythm that we just played in number 40, our rhythm rap, it is exactly the same. They use the same combination of eighth notes and quarter rests that we used in number 40. It's just that now we have to use some actual notes on the page. Okay, we have to change notes. You'll notice that the first measure, we're going to play all E flats. The second measure, we play all Fs. Okay, so they do have us moving our fingers. Okay, so let's go ahead and try number 41, beginning on an E flat. And again, I know it's got a repeat sign at the end, but we are only going to do it one time. Okay, whoops, sorry, let me get my metronome started. Okay, E flat, and here we go. 1 and 2, and ready, go. How do we do with that? Were we able to keep up? Did we get the eighth notes in the right spot? Tell you what, let's put that on here once more. We'll try it again, okay? Fingers on E flat from the beginning. Here we go. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Nice job. All right, moving on to our final song for this week. We are going to take a look at number 42, Skip to My Lou. The first thing you're going to notice about the song is it's now 2 lines long. It's longer. We are going to use eighth notes. Okay, if you look at the first measure, we've got 3 Ds, the second 2 are eighth notes, and then 3 B flats. The first 2 are eighth notes there. So remember, those are going to be faster notes, okay? Now, one thing I want to point out to you before we play it, if you look at the very last 2 measures of the song, you'll notice that it starts with a C, and then we have 2 eighth notes, but they ask us to change fingers on those eighth notes. We got to go C, D, E flat, D, C. So we have to move our fingers pretty quickly because they have to be eighth notes. They have to be short. But I have to move some fingers. So if I were playing those last 2 measures, I would play. Notice how my fingers moved quickly on those eighth notes, okay? That may take you a little practice, and if it does, that's okay. You'll get there, all right? So we're gonna go ahead and try and play together 42, Skip to My Lou. We're going to do both lines, so make sure when you get to the end of the first line, you continue on to the second line. We're starting with the D, so go ahead and get your fingers on D. Let me get my metronome going here. Okay, and here we go. Ready? 1, 2, and ready, go. How do we do? Did we do okay? If that was a little bit of a struggle for you, a little difficult, that's okay. Practice it, come back and play it along with me later on, okay? I do want you to make sure that you're practicing these songs with me as well, playing them with me so that you get a feel for how those work when you're playing with somebody else. So, what are you going to work on and record to Canvas this week? Well, I want you to record number 40, the rhythm rap, and you can pick any note you want. I just want you to play that for me so I can make sure that you're tonguing and you've got a good sense of how those eighth note rhythms work, okay? Then I want you also to play and record number 41, eighth note jam, okay? Again, same rhythm as number 40, just some different notes. And then finally, I would like you to record number 42, skip to my loop, both lines played through continuously without stopping, okay? Make sure you practice these 15 minutes a day, 5 days during the week. Okay, that's the most important part, to practice regularly. All right. I look forward to seeing your videos, and I hope you all have a good week.